I'm Asia here for Entertainment Stew, and I'd like to welcome you to Overthinking. Our media has a problem that has been with us since the beginning, and that problem is its reliance on objective evil. In order to discuss objective evil in relation to our popular entertainment, you must first have a definition to work off of. According to Dr. Charles Matthews, an associate professor of religious studies at the University of Virginia, an action is defined as objectively evil if it does the two following things. 1. The object or aim of the action is evil under any circumstances. And 2. The badness of the action is independent of the attitude of the one taking the action. Or, if you want a simpler way to understand the concept of objective evil, one can make note of the notion of black and white worldview. In these types of worlds, there is an obvious moral root with an easily defined good and evil. Some of the most popular things in media that the masses consume utilize this ultimately simplistic worldview. Lord of the Rings, perhaps the father of most of our modern fantasy tropes, feeds off this idea of objective evil and the black and white worldview it exists within. Not even touching on the subject of Sauron, his general level of evilness, or the various other beings that would like to enslave the entirety of Middle-earth. Let's instead look at the orcs that are native to the Lord of the Rings universe. Are these conscious beings just evil, or do they have a bad rap? Overall, signs seem to point to evil by design. Presumably, of course, an orc that was raised by kind, loving people in a good environment that encouraged peace and gentility would grow up to be a good person. But there is something about orcs which simply doesn't foster that kind of environment. They're almost all bullies, cowards, treacherous, and craven, who fight each other even when there's no reason to fight. They're even portrayed as cannibals who will gladly descend on each other if the opportunity presents itself. You could claim it was the influence of Sauron on them, but even a set of orcs on the Misty Mountains act in this manner, and they answer to no one but themselves. While we're never given a good orc, that would honestly be pretty satisfying to see. I like to think there's at least one orc out there who is overcome by a powerful sense of absolute goodness, who kills, smashes, and burns down cities, but his heart really isn't in it. I'd like to think he'd probably want to be an artist of some kind. But if we play by the rules Tolkien sets within his world, the concept of evil is so pervasive in the orc's design that even this rare anomaly is impossible. Despite that, even the widely popular Harry Potter series utilizes this idea. According to Harry Potter lore, dark wizards such as Voldemort and his cohorts cannot utilize the Patronus charm because the spell must be used by someone with a pure heart. If the user of this spell doesn't have a good heart, instead a spell of maggots will leap from their wand and consume the flesh of the caster. Well, okay, enough of the examples. Where does this come from? Why does our popular media rely on these black and white depictions of a world? Well, there's no simple answer for this. There is a multitude of different factors that influence the use of objective evil as well as objective good. One factor that could be the cause of this is religion. In a lot more widely known religions, this is the ultimate base backdrop, an ultimate good versus an adversarial evil. Religions that utilize this idea that people around the world have grown up with, and it colors the way they both consume and produce media. Another reason is that the use of this worldview is simpler. Picture you're making a piece of fiction, whether it's a book, a game, or a movie. What's easier? Creating a vast lore where each character and their motivations are clearly fleshed out to the point where instead of having two shades of either objectively evil and objectively good, you have a cascade of different shades of morality, a rainbow morality worldview, if you will. Or you could easily utilize a black and white worldview, a simple worldview where the audience knows who the good guys are and who the bad guys are, just at a glance. Our entertainment reflects the type of society that it's created within. What does this fixation on objective evil and objective good say about our society? In reality, good and evil are complex. More often than not, in any given situation, the good or bad guy isn't necessarily good or evil. It's simply the culmination of a set of circumstances that eventually led to conflict. Maybe the focus on objective evil and objective good is continuously reinforcing the black and white view of the world, making us see certain groups as evil and willing to ostracize them as just that, while we laud other groups as good and hold them up as a paragon to be followed. But of course, that's just one way to think about it. If you have another way, please leave a comment below and like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. This has been Asia, signing off for Entertainment Stew.